Thank y'all so much for joining me. This week, I have the keys to something extremely fun. Let's get started.
How do I feel about being a member of the Information Society? That's a difficult question because I didn't know we were in the Information Society.
All right, so here it is, the 2019 Dodge Charger SRT Scat Pack. Now, if you guys don't know about the Scat Pack, I've heard this thing called tons of names the week that I had it. Some people think it's the Rumble Bee. Some people think it is the Super Bee. This is technically called the Scat Pack. It's basically the 392 SRT, but without a lot of the luxuries, without a bunch of the nice features that make the car feel a little bit more upscale. In terms of performance and getting the most money for horsepower, this is the way to go in the Dodge Charger lineup. So if you want a four-door pumping out almost 500 horsepower, this is the way to go if you don't care about having leather, if you don't care about having a Harman Kardon sound system. And this one is finished off in the beautiful F8 green. You don't see this color a lot. As a matter of fact, there were people so stunned by this color this week. I even had a few people ask me if it was a custom color. Paired with all the black accents, it makes it look so just like army and just super mean, and I just love the way this thing looks. So coming to the front, new for 2019, you have this slightly revised front end. So the first thing you're going to notice are the two air inlets right here. You basically have two snorkels up in front. Now, it's not going to be like a ram air intake like you're going to get on the Demon or anything like that. It's basically just a wider opening without any of the mesh, so air can just fully flow through there. It's not going to have a special inlet that it goes in. It just goes straight into the radiator right there just to help cool everything down. Now, you do have darkened headlights, so the headlights are going to be slightly smoked out to give them a lot more aggressive, a lot more mean look to them. And of course, you have your Scat Pack badge right here in the middle, which looks great. Now, you do not have full LED lights on here. I really wish they would have put them on there. I know it's a small thing, but the only thing that's not LED on these front lights is going to be the main bulb and then your high beams. Your daytime running light is LED, your fog lights are LED, so I don't understand why Dodge couldn't have just went that tiny extra step just to give you full LEDs. It completes the look, and in my opinion, when you have LEDs and then your main projector beams are not LEDs, it just gives it this funky sort of almost aftermarket look. I'm not a huge fan of it. And then coming to the top, you are going to have your intake up here, which is going to be functional, basically taken straight off of vehicles like the Viper and things like that. It gives you that same super muscular, mean look, and I just love the way the hood on this car looks. It's just so bulbous, it's so muscular looking, and this is a fitting muscle sedan if you're looking for something that just screams aggression and just screams just that American muscle flair. Now, coming to the wheels, they are going to be this basically matte black finish. They look absolutely stunning. It's basically the same wheels you're going to get on the Hellcat. It just has that different Dodge symbol right there in the middle. You have 6-piston Brembo brakes on this vehicle, and it is going to be an upgraded option. This one does have that option, so you have the 6 pistons. Now, the only thing I'm not happy with are these tires. They're P0 Neros, but they're all-season tires. You guys are gonna see why later on. That was a horrible choice for Dodge to send me these tires on this car later on in the video when I take it for a drive. But overall, I love the entire profile look of this car. Your 392 Hemi badge over here off to the right side. And man, guys, this green, I'm telling you, I'm not a big green fan, especially on my cars, and you guys are probably laughing because my voice just cracked. But this F8 green looks sinister. It is such a good looking color. Back of the car, you guys are going to see my second issue. You have a square stance on this car. Personally, I think it should have come with a staggered stance, so you have two 75/40s in the rear with all season tires. You guys can already pretty much guess that this isn't going to just go over too well. But yeah, so you have two 75/40s in the front, two 75/40s in the rear. I think they should at least be 305s, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, you do have this satin black spoiler right here, which looks great. Once again, especially paired with the F8 green, all the black accents look very, very nice. And this is actually a lot bigger than it looks on video. I think it's about half a foot wide. It's pretty big. You are going to have a functional air outlet right here, so basically help get a lot of that built up pressure out of the wheel well, and it flows out through here. And of course you have your signature Dodge Charger LED light bar in the back. I actually still think it's one of the best looking rear taillight designs that is on the market. You have this blacked out Charger emblem over here, and then now instead of your RT badge, you are going to get your Scat Pack emblem over here to the right. And then of course you have your beautiful, glorious sounding exhaust. I'll go ahead and let you guys take a listen to that. All right, so getting into the Charger is very simple. Here is your key, if you guys can see this at all. It says Dodge right there on the back. You turn it over, it's going to have your unlock, your lock, your trunk release, your remote start, and then your panic button. And just because I love this exhaust, we're gonna go ahead and remote start it. Hit this twice. Beautiful. And to turn it off, all you have to do is hit the button one time and it shuts off. Very nice. Up to the door, you have a black button right here on top. You're going to push that, and that is going to lock the car. You're gonna hear the beep to indicate it is in fact locked, and then the area underneath is touch sensitive. That's going to unlock it. Now, stepping inside the Charger SRT Scat Pack, the first thing you're going to notice is, once again, because this is basically a performance bargain and not a luxury bargain, the interior is extremely, extremely bare. Now, that is probably the biggest fault in my opinion. I mean, it's not really a fault, it's just the biggest downside if you decide to go with the Scat Pack. So starting at the door, you're going to have just this basic fabric here, nothing super special about it. It's got stitching there. You do have leather here, which is actually pretty soft. It's got a good amount of give to it. Actually feels pretty quality. You've got this little aluminum strip running down here. All of your door locks, window controls, mirror controls over here, door handle right there. And you're going to have your storage area right down here. Now, you do have a little light that is going to illuminate the door pockets at night, so that is a nice feature right there. You are going to get aluminum pedals. You have power seats and then lumbar support right there in the back. Cloth seats, you know, pretty thick cloth, so the good thing is that it doesn't feel like it would tear very easily. And then you have this interesting little pattern going up through the middle, and then your B logo right there embossed in the seat. But let's go ahead and hop in and we'll check out the rest of the car. All right, so shutting the door on the Charger. Oh. Okay, one thing you'll notice is when you open the door all the way, it's super far away. Now, it's not a negative or anything, it's just something I noticed. So I have to reach way out here. And pretty decent door shut. For being a four-door sedan, this is actually a pretty heavy door. You know, not sure if that's a good or bad thing. Leave that up to you guys to decide, but here's the inside. All right, and push start, so foot on the brake, and then I'm going to press this button right over here to start. Starting at the steering wheel, you guys can see it's got this nice, big, chunky steering wheel. You have some nice grip extensions right up here. You have this, what's supposed to look like dark chrome, but it's basically just plastic right here. You're going to have all of your buttons to control your menu right over here. You're going to have your phone commands, voice commands here in the middle. Over to the right, you have all of your cruise control settings, and you have blank buttons here because, once again, you have to go up to the actual 392, SRT in order to get more features. So, as is, the steering wheel is pretty nice. You do have your paddle shifters right back here for your 8-speed auto. And you guys will see later, they shift extremely fast. Probably one of the fastest in the business. But you don't have a stalk over here to the right, you just have your stalk over here to the left, and that's going to be your blinkers. It's going to be your wipers right here, and that's it. Your lights are actually going to be located right over here, so you do have automatic lights. And then over here next to that, you have your interior illumination, and then you have footwell illumination here as well. You also have your trunk release, and then as you come up, you're going to have this interesting like weaved silver plastic, and you guys can see this is going to have, not sure if you can see it, but this has the Alpine sound system, which is basically the stock sound system. You can upgrade to the Harman Kardon, but as is, the Alpine is actually very good. Then you've got this massive slab of just giant plastic right here. It's soft touch plastic, so that's good, but it is just a massive slab of plastic. It was the first thing I noticed when I got in here. You almost can't not notice it. And then you've got this huge silver plastic part. So once again, the interior is definitely not at all where this car shines, but it still does a pretty decent job for the money. Now coming to the screen, it's basically the same Uconnect system that FCA uses. It's very good. And then you can scroll through here. You do have heated seats and heated steering wheel in here. And if I go to my apps again, you have an SRT mode, which is going to be things like your different driving modes. You can do a custom mode, which I have set up. Race options, so you have launch control here, and then you are going to have line lock now. The funny part is that it shows a Dodge Demon right there with the line lock, so I thought that was pretty hilarious. But that is a new feature for 2019. Now, moving down, you are going to have a little bit more buttons. So you have your mute button, of course your hazards, you can turn your screen off, your different driving modes. So instead of going through the menu, you can just hit this button. That will take you to your driving modes. Launch control button, your parking sensors, your traction control here, volume tune, and then you are going to have single zone climate control. I'm sorry, no, you do have dual zone climate control in here, so you guys can see the two zones right up there. And then coming down here, you do have a little area, like a storage space area, so you guys can see I have my phone right in here. No big deal. And you also have a light that's going to illuminate this area at night, as well as a 12 volt right down here as well. Now here is your shifter for your 8-speed auto, or as Dodge calls it, the Torque Flight automatic transmission. Manual modes, Dodge does get it right with pulling down to shift and pushing up to downshift. That's exactly the way like rally car style vehicles do it, which is nice. And then you put it into reverse and you have your backup camera, which is going to come up. Not the best quality, it's actually very grainy, but it gets the job done. Now coming down here, you have a little bit of storage area. I have an extra battery for my A6500 because if you guys know anything about cameras, they're not good on batteries. Cup holders, you do have illuminated area here. So you guys can see right here, there's the area illuminated at night. You also have a little cover right there for it as well. And you've got this massive armrest. You can easily put two people's arms right here. You lift that up and you have storage space. Lift this up and you have two USBs, an auxiliary, and then you're going to have another 12 volt in there as well. You're going to have storage area in here. Auto dimming mirror, you are going to have lights up here, not going to be LEDs, and then your home link right up here as well. Sunglass holder, and then you are going to have your vanity mirror right here. Now you don't have a moonroof or anything like that, so that is not on here. That's pretty much going to be it for the front seat of the car. Let's go ahead, hop in the back seat and check out the room. All right, everyone, so I do apologize sincerely. My camera did not pick up the audio from this clip, so unfortunately I will have to do this voiceover, so I do apologize because it will not go with the footage that I filmed. But to give you a gist of the back seat of the Charger, it was spacious, it was comfortable, had your normal cup holders, my feet room was good, my knee room was pretty decent, and my headroom was decent as well. You did have vents back there, and of course you've got your normal mat pockets, your handles, hooks for dry cleaning, things like that, but there wasn't really anything noteworthy in the back seat. It's just comfortable, decently roomy for a performance vehicle of this size. But let's go ahead, hop in the trunk, and we'll check out the rest of the car. All right, so coming to the back of the Dodge Charger, there's two ways to get in. You can use your key, or there's a button located right over here next to the E. You're gonna push that button, and there you go. Very simple. Now you do have a cavernous amount of room back here. Now coming over here to the left side, you are going to have a little hook here for like grocery bags to put those on right over there. Of course you have lights here. You lift up the floor and you're going to have a little bit of storage space, fix a flat, and then your battery is located back here as well. You can also fold the back seats down by pulling a little tab that's located right next to the headrest in the back seat. And that's pretty much going to be it for the trunk space. You also have a handle right up here. Grab that to close the trunk. Let's go ahead, see what's under the hood. All right, so coming under the hood of the Dodge Charger Scat Pack, you have a 6.4 liter Hemi V8. It's going to produce 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. Now, of course, that is going to be sent to the rear wheels only through an 8-speed automatic transmission, which Dodge calls the Torque Flight transmission. Now, it is a ZF sourced automatic. So if you guys know anything about ZF, they make some of the best automatic transmissions in the entire car industry. I'm super excited to drive this thing, so let's go ahead and get it on the road. All right, so the very first thing I want to do for you guys is acceleration. So what I'm going to do right now is go into SRT mode. I'm going to go to race options. I'm going to do a little bit of line lock so I can get these tires warmed up. Very easy. If you guys can see this here, all you got to do is activate line lock. Then it's going to tell me to apply brake pressure. Put it in drive. So while I'm holding the brake, I'm going to hold OK. Continue to hold OK, release the brake, and then apply throttle. All right, so now that the tires are warmed up, I have the performance pages up to show me my 0 to 60. I've tried launch control and it really doesn't do a great job, so I'm just going to brake torque it myself. And it's in full automatic. Traction control is off now. There we go. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh man. All right, so that was a 5.4. Not super good. I can definitely do a lot better than that, but the tough part is that the rear wheels on this thing are not very large. These are 275 tires. I'd say this needs at least 305s to be able to correctly put down all the power to the ground. So, in order for the Charger to basically redeem itself, once you get this thing moving, it pretty much can put the power down all the time. It's just from a go. If you get into it really good, it has a ton of torque down low, so it's going to be very hard to put the power down just right off the get-go with these wheels and tires. Now, I'm going about 40 right now, so if I were to just lay into it, it puts the power down really, really well. All right, so second gear pull, ready? Yeah, it does a great job. And man, that that noise from the exhaust whenever you upshift sounds amazing. Now this is Dodge's Torque Flight automatic transmission. It's basically a ZF automatic transmission, and if you guys know anything about ZF, they make some of the best just standard torque converted automatics in the entire industry. This is borderline dual clutch good. The only transmission really faster than this are different tunings of the ZF, and you know, the fastest one I think I've done was in the Giulia Quadrifoglio, which uses basically the same transmission. Other than that, you're talking like Porsche PDK. Those are the fastest transmissions ever, and the fact that this normal torque converted automatic, this non-dual clutch automatic, shifts almost as fast as that, it's pretty insane. But check this out: third, second, third, fourth. It shifts so quick, it's crazy. Now, here is probably my personal biggest negative about this car, and it's such a big negative to me that honestly, if I were to buy this car, this is the deal breaker for me. This, like, hands down, this would be the deal breaker for me personally. And this is single-handedly why I would not buy this car. But the fuel economy on here is absolutely stupid. It is ridiculously bad. Now, it's a 6.4 liter V8. That's to be expected. It's a massive V8. It's got a ton of power coming out of it, and it's a big block V8 too. I mean, this thing is huge. So you can't expect 25, 30 mpg. I get that. But whenever you get on this thing, you're in like single digit numbers. You're in like 7.6. I think at one point doing acceleration runs, I was at like 8.6. Once again, understand, you're getting on the car pretty hard. But here's what I think: if you buy a Scat Pack, you're not gonna drive this thing slowly or sedately, at least not often. Of course, going the speed limits, all that good stuff. But I mean, it's a Scat Pack. This thing is going to see some drag racing time. This may even see some track time. And when you're just cruising on the highway like I am right now, it's fine, it's comfortable. But even still, I think the best MPG I was able to get was like between 16 and 18, I believe, which is definitely a lot better. But to keep that high level of MPG, you have to be going highway speeds. But if you're driving around town a lot and you're giving it a good amount of gas from stoplight to stoplight, you're gonna be seeing very close to single digit numbers. I'd say you'd be anywhere between 10 and 12 miles per gallon. If this were my personal car and I had the means, I would put premium fuel in here all the time, just no questions asked. So considering higher fuel price and considering the fact that it just chugs it ridiculously quick, I personally couldn't do it. I mean, granted, if you have almost 50 grand to spend on a Scat Pack, maybe fuel isn't that much of an issue, but 50 grand isn't really the level of I can go out and buy a car and fuel is never going to be an issue for me. I don't think it's quite at that level. Now, if I was buying like a $100,000 car, then yeah, sure, fuel probably isn't that big of an issue for me. But 50 grand is a lot different than 100 grand. But all in all, this Charger Scat Pack, I mean, it's definitely a lot of engine, it's a lot of car for the money. I mean, if you just want something that's just good old-fashioned American muscle, and you want the sound, you want that visceral experience for, you know, a pretty decent price, this is the car to get. It is so good, and I think I've gotten more looks and more compliments in this car than even when I drove that McLaren a month ago. You guys can click the card up in the top right hand corner if you guys want to see that video, but I got more looks and more compliments in this Scat Pack than that McLaren, I kid you not. But guys, that's going to conclude my review of the 2019 Charger SRT Scat Pack. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you like cars as much as I do, you'll love being a part of this journey with me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.